Get into it.
Get into it. Brick and Mortar Podcast, episode number 1. Purpose of the podcast is to brainstorm, troubleshoot, come up with new ideas to market one of the hardest things to market, which is driving traffic to a brick and mortar location.
Right.
So kind of our structure, what we're going to do is, come up with ideas and present them, and then kind of troubleshoot throughout those ideas and kind of go from there. So you had a bunch of ideas, man. So as my computer's loading up, I'll let you go and get to it.
Awesome.
What was your first one?
So my computer's loading up as well.
All right, we're both having problems here.
Rocky start.
Yeah.
But as I was looking into the topic of social media, especially for brick and mortar businesses, I noticed that one of the biggest misconceptions is a lot of people think that my clients are physical in my city. What's the reason in doing social media? So you obviously having a brick and mortar where they have to actually come into your store. What do you think is the misconception in that, and what actually comes with doing social media whenever your clientele is like in your city? Yeah,
and that was a big challenge for me initially. Like I originally started doing social media. I typed in ChatGPT, how do I grow a resale shop? All of our business came off of Facebook Marketplace previously. And I wanted to get more customers. So I started, doing social media, and I saw like, hey, this didn't appear to work, to be honest. But I've learned from other businesses, whenever you can be omnipresent, which meaning more people are aware of you, the more likely or more chances you have for them to actually come and, do business with you. And that's pretty much the case with social media. Like over time, once you are grained and you're in front of 12 million, you get 12 million views, or you get millions of views, eventually those people start to come to the business. And they also come with a better appreciation. So that's one thing that I noticed with, originally we would run ads on like a Google. People would come in the store and, be honest, be very disappointed because we're not the store for everybody. But then we started building, our social media similar to how you would build your social media if you wanted to get more dates, like
right.
The girls see you in person after they see you on social media, like, oh, that's Moosa,
Yeah.
You walk up and try to get that number right away. She hadn't seen you on social media. She's like, all right, who are you? So that's kind of what was happening. And so I've seen a tremendous benefit from social media. And I think, for a brick and mortar business, this is a key part because it's only going to get tougher. And most of these brick and mortar businesses are going to become commodities.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was one thing, as I was, reading these stories of people that started doing social media, the success that they've seen, is one of the biggest reasons most businesses should do social media is mainly because of SEO. Right. So as the cost per attention on these Facebook, Google ads go up, it's gonna be a lot less affordable for people to get eyes on their business.
Absolutely.
So when someone is looking for, say, a plumber or a plumbing company, they're just gonna Google best plumbing company in my area.
Absolutely.
Right? And then whoever put the most money into SEO is probably gonna get their business.
Yeah.
But if you had a social presence, because even if they did a lot of SEO, if they don't have the content that actually shows their business and actually shows what their hospitality is or what their knack is that makes them better than their competition, then no one's going to be able to see that.
Absolutely.
So if, for example, you had your thrift store and the big thing is you have the most amount of Carhartt, the Carhartt guys are going to come in, right? But if you never put that out that you have Carhartt, then they wouldn't even realize. They'd probably go to a different thrift store.
That makes sense. And that's actually something I need to be thinking about with my strategy right now. And I want to hit on another thing you said about SEO, right? Like we had a previous conversation, and I believe Google is going to die over time. And so people aren't going to be searching on Google anymore, mainly because it's peppered with advertisements. Right? It's like, dude, you go in there, you're on a blog post, and you have to scroll through all these different ads just to get to the information that you want to kind of search up. So I see social media SEO being huge, right? When they have those videos and they've written those descriptions the proper way with, that is, what is it, search optimized?
Yeah, search engine optimization.
Search engine optimized, right? People are searching through TikTok to find your stuff. And I think that's going to be the future for a lot of brick and mortar business and service, any local business.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do you think, like, especially with Google SEO and Facebook ads, just media buying, there's like a certain like criteria that people do with their like creatives whenever they're pushing it, whether it's like this big holiday sale or they have like a copywriter just doing the actual media for them. How do you think that's going to transition like in the next like 5 to 10 years for businesses? Do you think the content strategy is going to relatively stay the same once Google and Facebook die? Or do you think that people are going to go like a lot more personable, less edity, less gimmicky? What do you think is going to move?
Yeah. So I don't think Facebook dies. I think Google loses market share, but they might, catch up depending on how they react to AI. But I think people are going to build in-house content creation teams. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do with brick and mortar media is give them that arm, right? Because it's an entire department and most small businesses can't afford that. But I see that being the future. Like you have to have this entire arm or else you're just not doing it right? And there's a lot of components to running marketing the right way. So I actually see not necessarily influencers. I see them making their staff influencers and just like building out their own team and infrastructure to support that over the next couple of years. They're going to be forced to. Like you won't be able to compete when you go on ChatGPT and you're typing in top thrift stores and they're just picking whatever they want versus, hey, type in thrift at the warehouse. Like, all right, cool. They're going to come to me, right? So, and the only way I can get them to type in thrift at the warehouse is if they know about me. The only way for them to know about me is if I'm on social media. They've seen me multiple times. So that would be my prediction. What do you think?
And like just seeing how content came. So I remember like mid 2010s, all the way to like 2015, YouTube, Instagram, all these apps came out, but a lot of people weren't doing it, right? So it was just a select amount of people that were on these social media apps. Everyone else were just consumers. It was rare to find someone that's actually, putting out content. And nowadays, everyone posts on Instagram. It doesn't matter who it is. Your grandma, she's probably posting on Instagram, right? So I see the same thing happening with the short form, long form content. Whenever it comes to actually like the ideation side of it, it can go, I think, two ways. One of them is it continues on this path that it's been going where it's like the most engaging content, whether that's just like pop in your face or it's going to backpedal where it's a lot less edity, a lot less production. And it's going to be something that's like you set the camera up, you just tell them what you got and you put it out. So those are the two ways I think, because I've already seen it happening. There's some gym influencers. I don't know if you know Sam Solik.
Yeah.
He rose to the top insanely quick, and he puts a camera up, does minimal editing, puts it out. He was getting like 1 million, 2 million a day.
Yeah,
right?
I guess the question would be, does that work? So like one of the big things that people are talking about right now is like founder-led marketing. And it's like, first off, like whenever we're building a business, we want to build it separate of the business owner so that you can sell it. So does that work for just like when it's an entity with no face, or does it mean that down the line, all these businesses are going to have to be associated with a face, right? Which is dangerous, right? Like, someone can make a mistake. Sam Solik can make a mistake right now and can lose a good amount of his fortune. Look at Tiger Woods, like, man, Tiger Woods is an idol for a lot of people. I'm looking at his mansion. I'm drawing his mansion. I'm like, yo, this is what I want. A year later it comes out, he's cheating on his wife. He's got 45 mistresses or something like that, right? Yeah. So I guess I agree when it comes to founder-led. So like with me and Thrift at the Warehouse, I've been toying around. Like, do I want to get out front? Do I want to be that guy? But then at the same time, I know always I want the back of my pocket that I can sell this business at any time, right? And so I guess that would be kind of my challenge on that. Like, okay, how do you blend the two? Like, what do you think? How do you blend the two? How do you get that, hey, just put down the camera, tell your story, but then also how do you keep it as a business, or like how do you integrate those? What do you think? I
feel like it's just having a mix between both, and that's what makes it difficult for business owners themselves to actually do this. I find that in the next few years, a lot of people can get weeded out not doing social media, right? So I think it's just adapting and even mixing both of them by just having 3 posts a week that are one format, and then the other 3-4 days, the different format, and doing testing. So that's what makes it difficult for a business owner, is because you have to stay on top of that, right? You got to see trends. Yeah. And that's what makes, media companies so valuable, especially today. But in the next 3 to 5 years, everyone that's weeded out, it's only going to be the top social media guys that are getting all the attention,
Absolutely.
right? So yeah, I think that it's just going to be a system of testing and actually seeing the engagement, because a lot of people can't read analytics, right?
Absolutely.
It's a specialized thing. Even like SEO, it's like the same type of thing where you have to know what you're looking at.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I just think that whenever it comes to the marketing side, even though right now it's like the trendy stuff that's popping off, getting engagement, I can see where it's going to be a pullback in the next couple of years, where it's going to be less super production, but it's going to be more of like storytelling and them knowing your business inside and out, right? And building like a cult following community.
Absolutely. I think for the best businesses, it's about having that mission. We talked about that on Saturday, which is, hey, like most people really don't want your business to do well unless there is some reason for it to do well, right? So I agree with you. And then also, Instagram just rolled out a new feature where you can trial, or you can try a reel out before posting it to your followers. So we're going to be implementing that with Thrift at the Warehouse. I'll be testing out different types of content and seeing what performs. But again, it goes back to your point where you need this media infrastructure to do that properly. Like, I really don't want to spend my time all day testing content and reviewing the data for that content. I would prefer to build a business system to kind of support that. So I think it just further builds us into this market as we continue to grow, as it continues to grow. So unfortunately, I think a lot of local businesses are not they're not really thinking about social like that. They're still like, I know people that, hey, they're doing their marketing on their own. They're not really looking to scale away. But I feel like they're not able to scale away because they don't have a system. So like, what ideas do you have to give them some tips so that they can start building their own system?
I think that whenever it comes to like building a social media presence, there is like a wall, but in my mind, it doesn't matter what kind of business it is, consistency is going to beat a lot of the other factors, right? You can have the best ideas, but if you don't put it out, you're not going to get traction.
Gotcha.
So even if it's not the best quality, you know, being a perfectionist in social media is what's going to hinder you and destroy what you're trying to achieve, right? So yeah, I think consistency and just trial and error. So if you see something on social media, maybe it's a business in your certain field, or if it's something that catches your eye and gives you an idea, I would just not think, go shoot it, put it out, and just see what the feedback is. Because your clients, your customers, they're going to tell you. You know, they're going to tell you what they want to see. Especially with influencers, you know, most people get their ideas from their comment section. But you're not going to be able to get that feedback until you actually start posting and being consistent.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think for us, when we first started posting content, it's like, all right, what are we going to do? As you start to post, you get a better understanding of what you're doing. So now we've been doing social media for over a year. And what we try to do is just find formats that are easy and simple for us to do that actually do perform. And the way we know it performs is it got the views, the likes, and the shares, right? So I think following some system like that, being consistent, like you said, and just getting started is probably the most beneficial point that anybody trying to get social media can do. Yeah, for sure.
And that's like one thing, it's, you know, most people are like, oh, I want to be unique. In social media, I really find it that like getting inspiration from other videos and other creators is like the best way. And then doing a little tweak over time, it changes. You know, so I think, you know, the copycat method is a lot better than you doing something that you have no idea in, and it takes you 5 months to actually get the idea of what you want across. You know, at least in the beginning, because over time, obviously, you get better at ideation, you get better at seeing trends and actually catching trends before they actually happen. You know?
Yeah. I think that's an issue, right? Like even myself as a personal creator, I'm like, hey, I'm trying to create my own formats. I'm trying to create my own things. And then I've noticed that if I just copy what's working, it's easier for me to be successful. And when it comes to actual business, like most of the time people are doing marketing only to not unfortunately, but they want to get a return from their work, right? So it's like, hey, it'll be easy, just find something that's working for somebody else, duplicate that process for yourself, maybe, and then eventually, once you got the fundamentals, you put your own spin on it. Like when I was running my first business, I would train guys. You had 8 sentences that you need to know. I need you to know these perfectly. No, I want to say it like this. Nope. Say it just like this. Now, once you become a master of the fundamentals, now you can get to crossing over. Now you can go behind the back. Now you can do spin moves. Now you can try to dunk on people, right? But if you don't got the fundamentals, I think it really slows you down. So with social media, the fundamentals is just finding other people's content and then copying that, duplicating it for yourself, and then seeing which ones work for you.
Yeah. And you said something a second ago, ROI, right? So this is also a very big misconception. I wouldn't call it a misconception, but something that obviously business owners want to see a return on their investment, right? In your experience, obviously you've done social media across your multiple businesses and you've grown them pretty high. What do you think is the ROI and what's the timeline on that you would give to another business owner that said that he's going to start social media?
Yeah, so it depends on the creative. You put a good piece of media out, boom, it's like you go viral, like, and then next thing you know, you have tons of people coming into your store. Now, I'd say for the people that I've worked with, it's going to take maybe 30, 60 days. Consistent trial experiments, testing out good formats, seeing what's working, finding that winning format, and then doubling down on that format to expose it to more people. Gary Vee always said, or we won't say him.
Yeah.
One thing that I like to do is I'll find a good piece of media and then I'll expose it to more people, ultimately just boosting it, right? Just doing a little paid ads, not on iPhone, because iPhone is charging you more money to a service charge to run paid ads, but on your computer, boosting it to more people. And then eventually you have a good amount of following. Eventually you start to get some traction organically on your reels. So I would say for Thrift, we started our new social media strategy in January. We went viral, I say like on the 28th of January. And next thing you know, we went from 10 people a day to 300. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, it's as fast as you can implement the creative. Like if you get good creative, like it's on from there. I think just not having a good piece of media is really holding them back. So I believe if you do it right, it works. Like, okay, for example, I'm on a tangent here, but we posted a video Thursday. I ran a little bit of paid ads, like $100 or something like that, and that video's gotten 50,000 views, right? So, and then it's got 500 shares, I think 1,500 likes at this current moment. That video is driving people directly to my store because I'm promoting something on that, right? So if we do it the right way, we can actually get a return on investment. I think old theory was, hey, you just do social media for brand awareness. You never know when you're going to cash in on that. No. We do social media and we can drive them directly to an action if that action is, what would be a good word here? Like not lucrative, but interesting, I don't know, fun, or like something they want to do. They need reasons. People need reasons to go do things. All we're doing is giving them reasons. So I think a return on investment, long story short here, I can think it could be seen immediately. I know another guy, he has a burrito shop. He went viral. Next thing you know, his sales doubled, right? So that's one video. So it's just about how fast can you get it going. But realistic timeline, I say 60 to 90 days.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good timeline. Also, because it's something that's going to feed into you or into your business over the next forever, right? So you're going to constantly be growing as long as you stay on it, right?
Yeah.
And one thing, like you said earlier, it's important to have a mission for your business, something that people can get behind, right? Even if you have a construction company, what's your mission, right? And it's something that you as the owner or the operator needs to look into. And we were talking, and you recently, have been doing with the thrift shop, you've been doing this mission that you've been saying. So can you explain what your mission was, what you realized, was something that you are passionate about but never thought, and it never came to the front of your mind?
Yeah. I mean, so I still say I'm still ideating on the strategy, but I'd say it kind of goes back to the formula. Like, most people don't want to see you be successful, right? Like, you say you have a new business, you can go and tell all your friends and family members, they'll give you a couple of petty sales. But after that, they're not diehard customers for you. You'd be completely transparent. Now, whenever they know you're going out to really make a difference in the world, it's different, right? And so like Elon Musk, sustainable energy, let's get electric cars, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Elon's God, right? Other people, Jeff Bezos, I want free shipping. I want my stuff in 2 days. Okay, bet we're going to keep going to Amazon. I don't care what he does to his employees. It doesn't matter to me. Give me that box in 2 days. I'm cool, right? So like for us, how do we build that mission that people can get behind, right? Like, how do I ignite the army? How do I get the calling? And this is not something that's only for my customer. This is also for my team, right? So like, everybody gets more excited when they know they're running towards something. When you're running towards nothing, it's a dead end job and you want to quit and you hate your life, right? So for us, our mission at this current moment is 1 million pounds. All right. Now, how we measure that, how we keep up with that is going to be a challenge. But each article of clothing is going to range from 1 to 2 pounds. And I think we can actually do that. And I think it takes us probably without social media, 5 to 10 years. I think with social media, we can get this done in anywhere from 2 to 3, right? It just depends on how fast this catches on, right? Now, with that mission, it does involve a leader to come out front. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that tastefully. But yeah, that's the mission.
That's awesome. Yeah. And, recently I went to a Tony Robbins event and he had a story similar to that. So it was that his goal was to feed 1 million people, right? And ever since he was like 18 years old, that's been his mission. And, he's like, 15 years from now, I'll be able to do that. And then once he had the goal in mind and he actually had something to look at, that's when everything changed. And he's close to like 1 billion meals right now.
Holy
right?
moly.
And that it's just having that mission in front of you and vocalizing it, telling your team about it. And that's what to run towards. And then it's weird. Everyone operates on a different level. Even yourself, you operate on a different level when you know the roadmap and you kind of push all the distractions out of the way.
Absolutely. And it's kind of like what I saw with my first business, a junk removal business. I was like, man, originally I could not lead the team. It was a bunch of young men. I was young at the same time. We were all the same age. So I'm trying to get these guys motivated. And so I started telling them, one, the neighbor down the street that also owned a junk business was talking bad about us, right? So I said, hey, man, we're going to be better than him. And then guess what? We're going to buy him out, right? So these guys are pumped up every single day to, one, make more money than that guy, do better than him, be better at every portion of the business, but then also expand, which gives them more opportunity. So yeah, absolutely. That's good culture, right? So like, with us being marketing, there's more to the equation than just driving customer to the store, right? There has to be a feeling. There has to be a pleasantries that are exchanged from the team member to the customer. The only way the team member is actually happy is if they're running towards a vision that's exciting to them as well, right? And this is why most businesses have to try to become big business and not small, right? Because small business doesn't have enough opportunity. Like me and you, we're building brick and mortar media. If we only strive to be and serve maybe 2 or 3 people, then that's probably enough for me and you, but no one else is going to want to help us. So what we just got was a job, right? And if we want to build a business, we got to have enough room for more people to come in and fulfill their dreams, right? Like one thing I was telling the general manager the other day was, we want the store to be an opportunity, just like I see the store as an opportunity to help me get to my goals. I want the store to be the same thing for my team, right? And so I think with these small brick and mortar businesses, they need to be thinking about the same thing. Like, make your business a opportunity vehicle for your team members as well, not just you. I know you want a great life, but for you to have a great life, they also have to be working towards getting a great life as well. Now, we can do that through creative pay plans and goal setting and missions like we just talked about. But I think those are some secrets to growing the brick and mortar business. Yeah.
And that's one thing, like, media marketing, it's something that I've been doing for a long time and something that you've been doing a long time for your own businesses as well, right? So I think like with us, it's going to be really cool to be able to see a company or a business that has no followers. And then from there, within 60 to 90 days, they actually have a following, they have a community around them, and they're actually able to open different avenues of income. Right? Because that's the one big thing that a lot of people don't think about is when you do have a community, you do have a following, different sources of income start opening up.
Absolutely.
Right? Whether that's being an affiliate, whether that's, just being a regular influencer, or it's, first of all, bringing you the income from the extra people coming into your place. And then having them join your community. Right? So I think there's going to be a point where, like we were saying, social media is going to be, it's huge now, but over time, it's like, if you're not doing social media, you're going to die. Right?
For sure.
You're done. And you're going to be capped out, but there's another thing that social media does, and this is what I actually did for a construction company. So I used to run fiber optics as a lineman. And one thing we used social media for was recruiting. right?
Okay.
So sales organizations use social media as recruiting.
Yeah.
Brick and mortar companies need recruiting as well.
Absolutely.
Right. And if, especially like thrift shops, I'm sure your goal is not just having one thrift shop.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
So over time, you're going to want the top 1% talent in your thrift shops.
Yeah.
So I think that social media is going to be, first of all, getting customers into your house or into your business where you can actually see the revenue. But it's also going to give you the a higher chance of getting that 1% guy that can really change your business and grow it to something you never even thought was possible.
Absolutely. And you're one person away from a drastically different business. Like I saw it in my previous business when I was around your age. We hired one guy. He changed the game for everybody. Everybody now wants to be like that guy, right? I saw it with one of my business partners in Austin. He hired one guy. Their average job size went from $600 to $800, or no, it went from $400 to $600. He was averaging $800. So he's bringing them up, right? What is it? What's the saying? Rising tides lift all ships, or something like that.
It's like you're as bad as your lowest guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And having that 1% guy, it's gonna create that culture where everybody else knows that now that is the baseline, right? So for like sales organizations, I have a background in sales.
Yep.
You can tell the quality of a team by their lowest producer, right? Because that is what the floor is and the standard for anybody else that comes in. You know, so even if you're running, construction, you're doing, retail, whatever it is. So you want people that are, pushing to help you grow your business, right? So yeah, I think 100% that's going to help.
Yeah, and they won't even come though if it's not a big enough opportunity and it's not an opportunity they're aware of, right? So it just circles back to like, okay, you need to grow a business. You need good people to grow the business, but to get good people to grow the business, you have to be striving to build a bigger business. But to even get into a place to build a bigger business, you have to have marketing. And if you don't have marketing, you won't be able to get the people, and you won't be able to get the business. So it's like a integral force here, right? It all stems from the marketing, like you said. And I want to elaborate on that point as well. Yeah, we got people from marketing. All of my employees, all my team members have come from marketing, right? We obviously get more customers, and then that opens up more streams of revenue, right? And that's one of the points that I wanted to bring was, okay, you got your brick and mortar business. Once you start focusing on your social media, you now can open up 5, 10, 15 different streams of revenue, right? So like for us, at one point we were doing events consistently. Right now we're getting ready to start doing lives. Only way I'm going to be able to market those lives is utilizing my audience, right? For e-commerce, yes, we're brick and mortar, but all these products can also be sold online, right? So, and then events, right? Or not necessarily our own events, but getting out and going to other people's events, right? I could tell my followers I'm going to go attend elsewhere bar and I'm going to be posted up at the bar with some clothes, right? So there's all these different streams of income. One thing I was actually just studying was monthly recurring revenue for brick and mortar, right? Like we always think about software, they get paid monthly, but how can a brick and mortar business get that, right? And so I actually wanted to pose that question to you, like how could a brick and mortar business get that monthly recurring revenue so they don't have to worry?
Yeah, so I love that because subscription based in my head, like having the LTV of a customer be, whatever the number you think is what you want, can grow a business to something that it's not just a 1-to-1, right? It's like you put in this amount for marketing, you get 1,000 back, right?
Absolutely.
So whenever it comes to actually like getting that monthly revenue, I think you just have to go back to your offer and implement different things. Like you said, you're doing a whole bunch of overhaul on your businesses. I think it's just getting the right product to give to them for that monthly recurring revenue. If it's just an upsell, whatever it is. Like I got upsold like 2 weeks ago by the HVAC guy. He came in, HVAC, mind you, he came in to clean out our pipes for the AC unit because it stopped working because it was so clogged up. And then he said, well, it's actually better to do our monthly plan because we'll come out every month to clean out and replace your filters for you. The filters are like every 6 months you have to replace, but we're paying every month. And it's a lower amount, but over a year, you spend so much, compared to just having someone come out whenever there's a problem. So that's like a great example in my mind of how, businesses are transitioning to that subscription model. But like, I think I would have to look at what business it is
Yeah.
to think of an idea of what offer you have for the subscription.
Right. And I just don't think that's something that most people are in the brick and mortar space are even thinking about. Right. And I think the quicker you can get something like that put into your business, now you don't just have that one stream. It's slow. It's fine. You got all these other things working for you. Right. And that's the business I like being in when I got multiple things working in my favor. Right. So like for us, it's crazy that you said offer brings us back to like the high ticket consulting, low ticket consulting and stuff like that. I've come up with an offer. Right. So ours is a VIP program. Right. And so I'm going to see how this works. But I think with the team, you know, we see 2,000 to 4,000 people per month, relatively easy. Can we get 10% of that? Hey, $10, $20 a month, right? You're going to get this, 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 and this, and I can make an irresistible offer, right? They're going to get this much perks. They're going to get this much off. They're going to get first viewership before we drop stuff online. That right there to me sounds like it's worth 2 Whataburger meals to me. I don't know. What do you think? Like, does that sound like it's worth 2 Whataburger meals?
100%, man. 100%. And it's also like the community aspect that people like about that, right? So VIP of Thrift at the Warehouse. Yeah. It's, you know, people will bond over that.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. So
hopefully.
I think that's a great idea, you know, especially like there's people that come out like every month, right?
Yeah, to the lines and stuff. Maybe they get to cut the line.
There you go. Because that line will go
that line's long, man.
You know?
Hey, you get to cut the line anytime you're a VIP member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then I'll give them totes and stuff. So yeah, I want to get that reoccurring revenue in the business just to protect it, right? Just to give extra money so I can, you know, pay my team even better, invest in additional resources, but also have that stability, right? Like I think a lot of these brick and mortar businesses, business in itself is a roller coaster, bro. Right. Like this stuff, you know, at one point we did 200,000 and the next one we did 100,000. Oh my God, what's going on? Hey, we're over here, everybody's running around before we're partying. Yeah, it's a great month. And then afterwards, like, dude, this sucks, man. We're done. It's over, right? So, you know, just to kind of mitigate against that, I think reoccurring revenue added into the model somehow is something that, you know, brick and mortar business should be doing. And I think as I test it out, which we're practitioners here, right? Moosa's bigger on the media. He knows all of that. I'm implementing the things that we're going over. And as we test this out, I think this would be something that people will be interested in implementing and we can help them do that.
100%. And that's the thing is like most business owners, like you said, aren't thinking about that, right? And that leaves so much on the table because it coincides with the marketing side of it. Because once you have eyes, marketing is basically just letting people know about your product, right?
Absolutely.
So as, you know, Google and these other places are dying, and even, in my opinion, Facebook is going to get so expensive that like a startup company, it's going to be tough for them to get as many eyes that they did. Like imagine running ads in 2005.
I know.
You're getting like 100,000 impressions for like a couple dollars, you know?
Yeah.
So as these, you know, avenues of generating, you know, income by or getting clients to come into your door or come to your website, e-commerce, whatever it is, then social media is going to give them the platform, first of all. And then it's also going to give them the people to test, you know, the subscription base.
Absolutely.
Right? And get feedback.
Yep.
So for you, you know, you have a following that you already have. And with the VIP members, it's something that you can test what works, what doesn't work, what you like, what you don't like. But like you said, it's going to create stability. You know, it's a lot easier to have that check come in every week. That's why most people work jobs, the stability of it, right?
Yep.
You know, most business owners aren't sane, so they like the risk and knowing what's coming next month. But I think this is a way to give you that stability, especially people that have been in business for so long and that haven't achieved that stability yet, where it's still, whether it's month to month or something that they can't plan the next 6 months out. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, a lot of big things coming, man. I'm very excited. I had a lot of thoughts that hit me right there. And now I forgot which one I was going to say. I'm like, I had a lot of ideas. Boom, boom, boom. Damn, they're all gone, right? So that was pretty interesting. I was listening to you. I was like, damn, it was gone. I think I was going to hit on that monthly recurring revenue, but I'm very, you know, I'm very interested in just experiments, right? So I think sometimes I piss the team off, to be honest, because I'm always like trying stuff, but that's business though. Like That's what it is, right? And I think, a lot of these business people get into their business, and some of them are not willing to try things. But I think in this day and age, they have to be. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. First movers advantage, right? So like a lot of people got on Instagram, or like you had said, example, Facebook. Whenever Facebook ads came out, a lot of people make a lot of money on that, right? Then that died out. Everybody does Facebook. Now people got away from Facebook. Now Facebook's actually cheaper than Instagram. Then they went to Instagram. Influencers came about. They started sending product out. I started trying to send product out. Rates got crazy. That started to die out now. Now it's a stable thing, right? Then TikTok popped up. And you're like, oh, bro, you blow up on TikTok. It changed the whole game. A lot of people made a lot of money, get first movers on TikTok, right? So I think as a brick and mortar business, they need to be looking for those next things, right? So one of the things I'm looking at right now is Snapchat, right? So I'm like, my target market is, be honest, younger, right? I got vintage clothing, I got Y2K, I got Carhartt, I got all the trendy stuff. And so the people that would like my stuff are probably on TikTok. They're on Instagram as well, but TikTok and Snapchat where I could probably get to them a little bit cheaper. So that's something I'm going to be testing out in the next couple months. And definitely going to be giving you guys a case study on that.
Dude, I've been preaching Snapchat for so long because I got a few buddies that, they do influencing, they have a certain amount of followers, but they don't do Snapchat, right? So me, I'm 24 years old. I've had a Snapchat since middle school, and I've seen it grow. Yeah. Everyone in like my age, we talk on Snapchat. We don't text. Seriously. It's either Snapchat or call, because Snapchat, you can see each other, right? Yeah. And it's not like Instagram where it's like, the DMs, whatever it is, it's a lot less seamless. Okay. And, the stock of Snapchat has shown that, right? Really? So it's like doubled in the last like couple of years. Really? And there's a lot of influencers that have moved to Snapchat only because of the amount it pays to its influencers.
The Spotlight program.
Some people are getting paid millions per month. Millions per month.
Just to make content.
This is literally the strategy for Snapchat. Okay, bro.
Good.
You take a picture of that shirt, and then you take a picture of that neon sign over there. Yeah. And you post 100 of those random pictures in one day. You just through your camera roll. So people are in bed just posting, these pictures they have.
100 though?
Most people that are making that amount of money, realistically, you can make around like 30, 40K off that, having just a decent following.
I wasn't even trying to make any money. I just want to get more people to the store.
But that's a huge part.
But that'd be cool too.
All these if you go on Snapchat and look at some of these guys, everyone's like, you can think of like your influencer, they're posting on Snapchat, and you'll see they're posting like 100 times a day. Damn. Right. And there was another point that you said, and I got hit by what you had of forgetting that idea, but it was a huge point. But yeah, I think Snapchat is like a massive thing that a lot of people sleep on. Yeah. And that's something that, knowing what to do on Snapchat, like how to post, it's another thing that can help brick and mortar businesses. It just gives another avenue. I know what I was going to say. Okay. So obviously, Facebook got pretty expensive, right? Yeah. And a lot of businesses are still doing it, but you're not seeing the profit margins that you used to. Mm-hmm. Then TikTok came out, and you can advertise on TikTok, like paid ads. Yep. They're banning on January 19th. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? How's that going to change the game? Because that's where a lot of people are getting the most views, the most engagement, and blowing up. Yeah.
Well, I was on. See, I made not made a mistake, but I tried to move on TikTok initially. I did it for a little bit, got some exposure, and I saw like the engagement has drastically changed, right? Like, at one point I could put a video up, I did good video, 10,000, 20,000 views, or small for me, but now like we put stuff up and videos that would do 50,000 views on Instagram get 1,000, 2,000, right? So engagement has changed a lot over there. So I don't know like how, well, it's still a great platform, don't get me wrong, but what happens with this ban, I think they just move, like someone else is just gonna buy it, right? Like I don't think it goes anywhere. I don't think if you're a business owner, you're getting ready to get on TikTok, you say, oh, I'm gonna wait till the ban. No, bro, just get on TikTok and start putting out the content. Like that's what I'm gonna do. I'm running ads on TikTok right now. Awesome. I don't really care. We have no followers on TikTok, right? But I'm still gonna use it because I know it has potential. And if it stays, then I make money. It works well. We grow the profile. If it goes away, gets transferred ownership, then okay, cool, same thing. And if it goes away, then that just means Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat are gonna get stronger, and probably another social media hops out. Hopefully, bro, we don't miss our blessing this time. Like that next social media comes out, I'm on it. Bro. I'm on it. I'm not missing it no more. I've done it a ton. But one thing that I think a lot of people are also missing out on is YouTube Shorts. So all of our content, we haven't really put it on YouTube Shorts, but I've noticed from my own personal profile and for other people I've studied that YouTube Shorts is a great way to get more subscribers, which opens up more revenue. Right. But also it's SEO with one of the biggest search engines at this current moment. They will lose, but at this current moment, they are one of the biggest social media search engines. Excuse me. Right. So I think YouTube Shorts is something. What do you think about TikTok, Ben?
I think that it's going to have a pretty good impact if they do completely ban it. So that's one thing, like YouTube Shorts, nobody does, right? It's only YouTubers that do YouTube Shorts, right? If you're not posting long form content, a lot of people aren't posting shorts on there. But with TikTok, I think that it banning might push all or a percentage of the audience to like Instagram Shorts and possibly, like you said, YouTube Shorts. So now hearing, you guys posting the YouTube Shorts and creating that, I'm thinking maybe YouTube will actually take a good amount of that short form because a lot of people are just, scrolling, right? And I go on YouTube Shorts sometimes. So I think it's going to be a misnomer. Like, it's not going to really matter in the long run, but in the short term, it's going to be like these other platforms are going to get flooded, right? By either the influencers that only did TikTok, because a lot of people only post on TikTok. They don't post on Instagram Reels. And then over time, it's just going to even out. And like you said, once another social media comes out, it's just going to, take over again.
So, I mean, I don't see it going anywhere. And then if they were only focusing on one platform, that's like rule number one, never get fucked, right? So it's like you're just out leveraged, brother. Like you're making dumb decisions, okay? Like you never be out leveraged, right? So, and so, I don't see it being any harm. Like I actually think everything's gonna pan out, and I'm actually gonna focus on TikTok more. Even leading up to how many 30 days from a ban. This is about to be when we actually start taking it serious. Right. If it gets banned, okay, cool. But I think as a brick and mortar business, the cool thing is all these platforms are free, right? You just need to put your content on there, right? And like you said, with YouTube, only YouTubers make YouTube Shorts. Everybody makes Instagrams. Everybody puts up Facebook posts, but only YouTubers make YouTube Shorts. So as a brick and mortar business, it would be probably in our best interest to be SEO optimized for YouTube Shorts and be putting content out there on there. So
and I've even seen like where people only post on Facebook. Because
Facebook is up and coming. They're saying, dude,
it's huge. Like obviously Facebook's always been pretty big, but whenever it comes to like the content side of it, for businesses, they've always been on Facebook, right? But I think taking Facebook to another level. With the short form content and the brand awareness, I think Facebook's going to be a huge area that a lot of people are going to need to focus on, especially with these other platforms like TikTok dying. I feel like it's going to still just push traction to other platforms, and everyone's grandma's on Facebook, so if you want her to see.
I mean, if people are still on Facebook, man, I think they had shown a chart and it's like, this is how many people are on Facebook compared to all the other platforms, and like it was miles ahead, bro. Like there's a ton of people on Facebook now. Not everybody like gets on every day, I guess, but I'm advertising on Facebook, and I'm actually kind of upset because our store is more for like Gen Z and younger millennials, so I can't really hit that Facebook audience as good. But I'm definitely going to be advertising on there. Now, I wanted to ask you a question. As far as building out the infrastructure, right? So for a brick and mortar business to be able to do social media the right way, do these experiments, seamless, as stress-free as possible. What would you recommend for them? Like what like from an org standpoint, what would you recommend from them?
I would definitely say if you want everything to be done right, it's going to be outsourcing to add a actual extension on your company. Okay. Right. So I think depending on the size of your business, how much content, how much of a system do you want? But I think that getting, outsourcing the work and plugging it into your business is going to be the highest ROI, because you will see a lot faster success, and you won't have to deal with taking all the mistakes that everyone else has done. So first of all, it's going to save you time. But second of all, adding that to your company and getting, consultation, whatever it is, then that's going to help you, like I said, speed up the process. But then it's something that just does itself. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's something that you don't have to put too much effort into once you have the systems in place.
Gotcha.
So like that's something that you're doing, is like we're putting things in place where the systems are there and you don't have to worry about the kinks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
What about you? What do you think?
Wow. I mean, I've iterated so many different ways. I'm still like coming up with my last iteration, which is probably never ending. Mm-hmm. But this current iteration is, I think you need a creative director-ish that can kind of oversee the creation, come up with the ideas, kind of schedule out, or not necessarily schedule it, but at least tell you, here's all the ideas, 90 pieces of content. This is what we're going to make. And then you need your fulfillment team. So you need your video guy, you need your editor, you need your models that are going to be in there, or your paid actors. That could be your team members that work at your store if you don't want to spend any money. That could be, good faces from modeling agencies. There's a ton of local modeling agencies, and they don't have a lot to do. So they're always looking for more gig work just to get their face out there. And then from a kind of fulfillment, once the post is completed, I think having social media manager, right, to schedule that out. If we wanted to get even more granular, we could have a copywriter, right, just to make the post. And like, we have a girl that does our captions and stuff, and I've noticed like her tone is like, it's just better. I'm like, dude, when we were just coming up with our posts, I didn't like them. I'm like, dang, this is boring. But I saw one of hers. She's like, did someone say more sales? And I'm like, that's like perfect. That's like, so having a copywriter have those fun, captions, but then also to even like entertain the customer on the stories, because that's a whole nother department, right? So I say if we were just to boil it down, I think a ideator, just come up with ideas. The business owner could possibly do that. A videographer, because I do think higher quality video is better. Paid actors, so making a decision on the team members. All right, my people that work at the store are going to be my paid actors, or I'm going to bring in paid actors, right? The more friendly, the more charismatic, the better the video perform, unfortunately. So that's something they have to live with. And then I think lastly, I think the social media manager, just to schedule the post out, can be cheaper. Like you can get a virtual assistant for $5 to $10 an hour to schedule your posts if you don't want to do that. So that would be how I would. Well, that's how I'm building it right now. Yeah,
and I totally agree. It's a lot for a business owner, like we said, to learn all those. So, outsourcing, bringing it in-house, actually having the roles in place is something that's going to be huge, because it's like, with any business, it's a one-man show in a huge business. It's never going to work.
Yeah. It's like, well, you got a job, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have a business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's one big thing. Do you want to give the tips on what you did with how to actually get like the influencers to come out and actually shoot content? How you got, the people in place to help you in that process?
Yeah. So, we've done a lot. Yeah. So like we've done contests to get them out. So we'll run a contest, and hey, whoever makes the best video, right? Brand awareness, right? As well as, we can see what kind of talent we want. We've just gone on Indeed and searched for this talent, right? We've gone through just like, hey, people we know, people we see. If you have a brick and mortar business and people are coming in your business already, if you see someone that'd be good for camera, recruit, right? Like you had said about employees, I didn't get to touch on this. When people are building their business, they're only thinking about the marketing funnel to get more customers, right? And then, product or service, right? So, hey, I need more clothes so my customers can buy the clothes, right? We're not really thinking about what's in the middle. And the middle is the team, right? So you need to be avidly recruiting as well, right? And so before you build up your social media while you're in the process, or you're just still working on it every day, you need to be recruiting your people. So if I see somebody in the store, I'll tell one of my team members, hey, y'all see somebody? recruit them to the team. Right. So I think those simple processes, that's what you're.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like, dude, I remember you told me about it and I was like, bro, this is genius. You need to license this idea.
Oh, you're talking about that idea.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
It's an insane idea of,
Yeah.
you know, how you actually went through the process of it.
Yeah.
And like, that's what connected me and you, right?
Indeed. Indeed.
So I think.
Where'd you come in? You came in from a contest.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. So I just saw it online and I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
So me, my sister, you know, 2 of our friends came in. We both had cameras, so we just did some videos.
Yeah.
And that's whenever I was, you know, first getting clients for, you know, the video editing, social media. So I was like, oh, it's something I can add to the portfolio.
Yeah.
Right. And then I enjoyed it. And then from there, it just kept going.
Yeah, for sure. We never stopped since. So
exactly.
So that strategy was just a contest. I still really like that strategy.
Yeah.
I will say it definitely. So like originally I said, the way I'm doing it now, I have a lot more control, right? Just because we already have a little more engaged audience. I don't want to mess that up. I want to get good creative, but I do like being able to delegate the creativity, because creativity in itself is a job. And so having those creative people to go out and make content for you, I think is also very, very beneficial. And so, yeah, if you wanted to be lean about this, you would just run a contest, right? You would advertise, I'm giving away this amount of money, make a good video of my store, my product, and I'm going to pay you that if I think your video was the best, right? And then from there, use that as a funnel. And you start recruiting those individuals. Hey, I'm going to make you one of my weekly content creators. You're going to be in charge of making this many pieces of content per week. Right now, easier said than done. And that's why you bring on a company to kind of oversee that process for you. So I've done this for not only myself, but other people. And we'll go out and find those content creators, put them on a content plan, analyze their content, see how it's performing, optimize it, of course, and then eventually it goes viral. It's pretty simple. Like, I mean, we're not going to go viral, but like it gets enough views to drive traffic to the business, so the business get a return on investment.
Right.
So business goes from, oh, we're only getting 10 people a day to, oh yeah, we got 100, 200 people.
Right.
And that's real simple with these brick and mortar businesses. We can give them a reason. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And like, you know, doing that as well, it just gives you so much content to analyze and see what, you know, it's each one of those videos have a mind behind it, right? Their own creative mind. So you can see and almost pick out who has like the knowledge on social media because they're getting something that does have that, you know, thing that makes it go viral. Whether it's like just a hook or they have cool transitions that are pretty trendy. You know, you can see and you'll know which one's the best if you're experienced in actually doing social media or, you know, being around businesses that have done social media. Obviously you can see which pieces of content are going to perform and which ones aren't.
Once you've seen it enough times, for sure. Now that I've seen it, I'm like, yeah, that's going to perform. That's not too slow, right? So now you kind of get me excited again about doing that. Like I'm thinking I might just run another contest. Because, oh man, having that creative delegated, bro, it's like you want to be in more places. Like you want to be duplicated, right? So this business is an extension of me. This is really me here, right? That content is the same thing because it's driving you to my business, right? So I want more of that. I want as much of that as possible to represent me in a good light. And I think unless you come in with unlimited money, unlimited dollars, it's really hard to do that at scale unless you rely on other people's creativity. And now, fortunately, the cool thing about that strategy is these content creators, or I call them micro content creators, but you know, every girl wants some attention, right? Like they want to have a reason for every young girl that has decent looks wants to be in front of camera to get that attention because they want to be YouTubers, right? And they just never had no reason to stay consistent. And so when you give them that opportunity, back to opportunity vehicle, I'm giving them an opportunity to now utilize their skill set and their passion and help me build my business in exchange for currency or clothes.
Right. And it makes it seem a lot bigger because a lot of people, they fight the battle of like, oh, I want to do content, but they don't do it for themselves. Doing it for a business, that seems a lot more legit. You know what I mean? So it gives them a lot more motivation to do something like that. Get it done, you know, record the content and actually, you know, test the different boxes that they're in whenever it comes to content. So like in and of itself, it creates content or it creates content creators out
Yeah.
of doing things like that because it gets them out of the shell. They feel a lot more comfortable because they're around a lot of other people that are doing the same thing. And then from there, it's like cultivating like content creators in and of itself.
It's
you know?
a university, bro.
Exactly.
It's a funnel in itself.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, if you think about a lot of these models, and yes, I don't really know the modeling industry completely, but I don't know if they're making a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't compare to content creators who's making more money. I think content creators are probably winning that one there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these models, they have the looks. If they can just bring that personality out, I think they could build, a good income stream for themselves, especially with TikTok Shop, right? TikTok Shop mechanism, something I still haven't realized, but that mechanism is going to go to Instagram, it's going to go to YouTube, it's going to go to Facebook, it's going to probably be on Snapchat as well. So, so yeah, man, shoot, we've been going, bro. We did good today, man. How long have we been going so far?
An hour.
6
minutes.
I could keep going.
Me too. Dude, this is solid, bro. This is solid. I didn't know we were good at it.
Yo, bro, it was like we were talking, and I was like, "Dang, is that Samir?" Wait, hold on. That's so crazy. I was like, I think we might have just did something here, bro. Really?
Dude, who knew we were good at this shit, bro?
Man. That was hilarious, bro. That was hilarious.
Damn, bro. That was fire.
Yeah, man. I thought that was pretty good. So, I had another point, but we can't. I mean, how do you want to do it? Because we're gonna keep going, bro. It's like these tag teaming.
Here, we'll swap out some clothes, make it look like it's a different day.
You want to do another pod?
Yeah,
Bro?
do like 8 pods in one day with all the different clothes.
No, that's efficiency right there.
Yeah.
We should probably do that, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we're gonna go. We're gonna keep going, and this is gonna be insane. So let's close this one out. We can do the next one. All right. So all right, so yeah, man, dude, we can do this all day. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah,
I love getting on here and brainstorming and troubleshooting, coming up with new ideas, sharing the knowledge with all these different brick and mortars. I hope we're providing value. Man, what closing statements you got for the people?
for sure, man. Like he said, I hope you guys learned a lot from this. At least give you some inspiration to implement social media somehow in your life or business. And another thing is, like, if you guys do have any other questions that we didn't touch on, or something that you thought about doing but never ended up doing, just put it in the comments. Let us know.
Absolutely.
We can respond to comments as you guys send them, and we could even make a shorter video on a certain topic.
Yeah.
So depending on what you guys want, just let us know. Let us know how it went.
Yep.
I think it went pretty good.
Hey, make sure you subscribe. Mousa made it.
Yeah, Moose made it, or Moosa made it.
Moosa made
I
it.
forgot my own handle.
He forgot his own handle. Hey, it's all good. He's tired.
Yeah.
And then Thrift King Official for me. Check me out. Make sure you guys subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, for sure.